All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lakeville Open Space Committee meeting, Thursday, June 5th, 2025, 6 p.m. at the Lakeville Senior Center. Chairman David Zalonis will be running the meeting. All members are present except for Debney Bajagian and Liz Nash, so we do have a quorum. Lakecam is recording the meeting. Is anybody else recording?
No.
And the answer is no. This meeting is now called to order. The first item on the agenda is review and approval of meeting minutes of the last two meetings. So we'll start with the April 3rd meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on those meeting minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. The April 3rd meeting minutes are approved. Next, we also have the May 1st meeting minutes. Is there any discussion?
There is, under item 3, Historical Commission. It says people from both sides of the Wampanoag tribe have been invited to provide input.
Second page. Right in here.
Okay, got it.
It should say the person wishing to erect the statue and the Wampanoag tribe have been invited. There's not two sides of the Wampanoag tribe.
Oh, okay, all right, now Kathy is not here, so she's gonna be writing the meeting minutes from the videotape. So, you can state that, and then you give that to me, and I can.
Okay, sure.
I can email her a copy of the
Okay.
correction.
Okay.
But so, just so I'm clear on it, so, people
Should-
from both sides comes out,
It said
and,
the person wishing to erect the statue and the Wampanoag tribe
okay,
have been invited.
okay, all right, got that, and then,
Oh, that's all right, that doesn't
okay,
need to
so-
go.
So,
And,
all right.
and item 6,
Okay.
open space informational pamphlet.
Yep.
Tracy, line 4 is spelled incorrectly.
How do you spell Tracy?
Tracy
See,
Creighton.
I-E.
I-E.
And, yeah, another one.
Number 7, the town does not have, should that say Wildlands Trust? It says the Conservation Trust. I don't know what the Conservation Trust is. Should that say Wildlands Trust? Or
Yeah,
a,
I don't know
or
if
say-
they were,
or say any conservation trust?
Yeah, it was a general comment. It's
Okay, so
definitely
just
not
any
wildlands.
conservation trust.
Yeah, so that's why it's good, but yeah, we can change that to any.
All right.
And so if Kathy is not able to get this from the video, what I'll do is, if you give me the markups.
Sure.
I can scan it
Absolutely.
and send it to her.
Absolutely, and that's it.
Okay, so what's the total number of corrections? 3? Are there 3 places to correct?
Yes.
All right, so everybody, I would believe, would be in agreement with those corrections.
Yes.
Yes.
So we could have a motion to approve with correction.
I make the motion.
I second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the May 1st meeting minutes are approved with 3 corrections. Joan will give me the markup, which I will scan and send to Kathy, so she's clear on those corrections. Okay, that's the meeting minutes. Next item is the commission updates for the Assawamsett Pond Complex. Their next meeting is June 11th, 9 a.m. at the police station, and I am planning on attending that so I can get an update. They meet quarterly, so there's no update today, but I should be able to get an update out of the June 11th meeting and report out on that at our next meeting in July. So that's all in the APC. Conservation Commission, Debney is not here, so probably no update unless anybody has any news from the Conservation Commission. No. So no update on Conservation Commission. Historical Commission, Brian or Joan?
Well, we did Lakeville Day, and that was a success. Had a lot of people come over and talk to us. And Joan, can you think of some other things that
Again,
are coming up?
we sponsored the Memorial Day celebration.
Yeah, we did the Memorial Day celebration. Any other things
I think
coming
that's all
up?
we have going on right now.
No, okay. Well, those two things we accomplished.
Very good. Okay, thank you. All right, and the Community Preservation Committee, Liz is not here, and so I don't think we'll have, we had, in the last month or so, given our inputs on their updated, their plan, and I think I don't know if they've issued the new plan yet, but we didn't have any updates from the open space standpoint, and but I think they made some other changes. But anyway, so no update on the Community Preservation Committee tonight. Okay. Agenda item 4, the 2025 open space plan status. Joan?
Well, today was the day, the cutoff day for everybody to send their corrections or emendations in, and letters of approval for the sections. And as of Tuesday, Tracy hadn't heard from anybody on any board in town. So when I was in her office, she sent an email to all the boards that were supposed to respond to us.
Okay, give them the last chance.
So we're waiting. And Tracy said she'd let me know when she got something.
But basically, if she doesn't get anything,
She had nothing from any board.
then what happens if there are no
Well, we have to
corrections?
get letters from some of the boards that say they
Oh.
approve of the sections, because that has to go to DCR
Yeah.
to add to what we already sent them, so.
All right, so Tracy's gonna keep you up to date on that.
She is,
and
absolutely.
over the next month, hopefully, be some movement there. Okay, all right. It was gonna take a little time to get through that many people.
No,
Okay, but we're in there. Okay, agenda item 5, the Open Space Committee Town webpage. And, I have on this because it seems like we've had a lot of updates made. I will say, I did check it, that Devaney's been doing the updates on the agenda and meeting minutes, and they're totally up to date. So she's got that under control. We updated everything else. Now we have the contact information, which we need to update because, and we'll cover the open space new pamphlet, which is going to have our new email address, because it turns out the webpage, our town webpage, had a phone number to call to contact us, which is the town hall. But there's no option to leave a message for open space. If you go through, there's like 7 different numbers you can do, and there's no open space. And so it really is a little misleading. You can't get to the open space there. So IT set us up with an email, and I will be monitoring that twice a month, or if we're having something going on and expect, I can check it more often, like with the outreach program. But anyway, so the web page needs to be updated to add that, and Devaney has been seeing Tracy about the
she
updates.
has.
So I can email Devaney and ask her to get that change made on the webpage, so I will make a
And the
note.
draft of the plan is on the webpage now.
Oh, yeah? Okay, very good. So our webpage is in pretty good shape, and once we get an email that works, as opposed to a phone number that doesn't, then for now, I think everything is gonna be good on the webpage. Any other comments on the webpage, any issues anybody's aware of? Okay, all right, that's that. Item 6 was the open space informational pamphlet, and Lynn, I know your concept, and you spearheaded this through, and
It's finished.
That's great. Nice
It's
job.
finished.
Do you have
Took a while.
anything more to say about it?
Well, we missed the Lakeville Day because it just was finished actually last week, because we were going back about the phone number and the contact information. So we missed that day, but I guess we need to figure out how we're going to distribute it. Are we going to leave it at the town hall, or somebody had said way back that there's places where they can pick up things? New
Yeah, I
residents?
talked
Okay.
to Tracy at the town hall, and I didn't have a chance to run any over this week, but there's actually 2 places in the town hall. One, when you go in, where Tracy's office is, there's a wall hanging unit, and there was open space for it, and I saw the Conservation Commission's there. We could put ours right next to theirs, and I just didn't have any with me at the time. They were still in the unopened box when I talked to them. And there's also, when you come in towards the assessors and the town clerk area, they have an area too, so we could put in the town hall those 2 spots. I did talk to Lori here at the senior center if we can place some here. And she said if the wall unit is full, but they'll have room on the table, we could put, you know, a small stack there as well. And I would think they must have something in the library.
Library, I think.
And I haven't talked to anybody at the library yet, but if I just make the round, from the town hall, swing by here, a stack here, and the library's right next door, you know, everything's close together. I think those are the only town locations to, you know, place them. People might come in and see them unless anybody knows of another town location.
I don't. So you had mentioned, or somebody had mentioned that possibly we distribute them at the town meeting next week?
Yeah, the town administrator had mentioned it might be a good way to get them out. So that's this coming Monday, I think it's 7 o'clock at the high school. So I know I'm planning on going, and I can hand some out. We have some other people that are going to that meeting that could also take a, you know, maybe we put the box in behind one of the tables where they check you in, and we, you know, just take a handful and stand near the different entrances and ask people if they're interested in learning about the Open Space Committee and what we do, and, you know, land conservation opportunities with the tax incentives, and also there's a listing of the parks in here for recreation within town that's already set up. And you know, obviously people, you know, people come in, you know, relatively slowly, but, you know, something quick. But if we have any volunteers to join me there on Monday night.
I'll see if I can, I'll try.
Okay.
Hello.
See, as far as, I know the meeting at 7, and get there at like 6:30 to get set up, and whoever's gonna be there, and I'll be looking
Okay.
for some smiling faces. And,
Hopefully it's a good day at work. Yeah, that's my
so I will be at 6:30, and as far as where we're gonna keep the box, I guess we have 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, I was thinking placing the town hall to put like 25, because we don't, and then, you know, check them and see if they're going, then replace them. But so I package of 25. So that's only going to be that's 100. We still have 900. Then we'll see how many we hand out. Usually get 100 to 200 people at a town hall meeting. I don't think there's anything special going at the town hall. So I think 100's a quorum. So they got to get 100. So, you know, we might give out. You know, probably, and some people won't want them.
Right.
Some people will take them and throw them away. But we might give, who knows, we could give out another 100 there. So we've got a good inventory of these. Where do we want to keep the box? I'm assuming it's probably at my house for now. Whoever's the chair gets the box. Right?
Yeah.
But
And the email.
Yeah, and the email. So, but I will, if anybody needs to take any, just let me know. And you can take some tonight too, if you want to hand them out to some people you know, and take what you want. I'll hold on to the box. I will do the initial loading of Town Hall, Senior Center, and the library, and I'll be 6:30 at Town Hall meeting, and hopefully some help passing them out.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. I'm going to say, yeah, the email. IT set me up with that, and it's worked a couple times. I tried to get in this week, and I had a little trouble, but I got a call into IT, and, you know, I almost got in. It was close. So, Bob will get me straightened out. But that'll be up and running. So it's in here, it's good, and get on the website. That's the right way to contact us. You can still contact us by mail through the town hall mailing address is the only other way, but phone is not going to work. So anyways, that's a great success getting this done, and now we're into distribution. So thank you, everybody, and especially Lynn for spearheading this one.
And thank you for everybody for the feedback.
Thank you for doing that for us, Lynn. Thank you.
I learned a lot.
And we had inputs from a couple of the other committees as well.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone that contributed. Anything else on the tablet? Okay. Agenda item 7. Now I split out the properties list from the outreach program, so I don't know if I did that last time, but they're 2 separate items, because we, part of running open space, we need to have properties lists on an ongoing basis, just to monitor what's going on in town as far as conservation opportunities. And then, of course, the outreach program or project is a separate item that uses the information that we put together in the properties list. So agenda item 7 covers the creation and maintenance of the properties list, to monitor conservation status and opportunities. The chapter 61, the first item, we're all set. We have an up-to-date, well, we're all set. We have the latest chapter 61 list, and we have last year's, and we did the analysis between two of them. We noticed there were some weaknesses in the report, so we do have a new town assessor. I did meet with him and let him know that we set up to get an annual every year. We're going to get an updated chapter 61 report. I told him about some of the errors we had in it, errors of omission, things like that, and obviously he's new. He's got a lot of things to do getting started, but I know that this is important. This is part of what we need to do, is get an accurate list that we can monitor and see who's coming on and off the list, so if that triggers any purchase opportunities for the town or a conservation trust. But right now, the chapter 61 is in good shape. The next one is the conservation restrictions, and we do have, as far as you know, a good list of conservation restrictions, but we don't have expiration dates.
We don't.
So I did talk to Robbie, the new assessor, about that, and I showed him that's right in our charge, that we're to have a list with expiration dates on the conservation restrictions, and we don't have it. So I asked him to think about it, and I'll meet with him again this month and see. I think from what Norm told me, it's a manual process. They're all in the paper files, the expiration dates. They're not in the computer database.
Of course.
Wow.
So, I forget how many conservation restrictions are, whether there's 100 of them or but it may take manually, and if they've got the manpower, maybe Norm can run through and pick them up for us, or we may have to offer a volunteer to go in, maybe an hour here, an hour there, and so I'm sure it's all by parcel ID, so it should all be paper files by that, and you got a list of, and we have the conservation restriction list. Somebody has to go through and get it. So I'll follow Robbie later this month and see if they can provide that, or if we have to do it through a volunteer, which I know we'll have plenty of that. So anyways, that's the only thing we need to do in conservation. We have the town-owned, state-owned properties. It is PDF only, but I think that's adequate, as long as...
That's accurate.
Accurate and adequate. I don't think we need an Excel format for that, because we're not going to manipulate it.
We're not going to be doing anything with that.
So we've got that, and, maybe on a, we should be made aware of changes. Anything sold goes through town hall meeting, and if we purchase or anything's donated, I don't know if that goes through town hall meeting or not.
I think it does.
But anyways, we can check maybe on a yearly basis, just have another report run. But, anyways, so I think we're in good shape on that. And of course, we have the properties over 5 acres, and that's totally complete and accurate. So I think the only action item here right now is the conservation restrictions to get the expiration dates. Anybody see anything else on the properties list, action items, follow-ups? Okay, all right, I'll stop Robbie, see where it goes, see if they can get it for us. If not, I may have to reach out for some volunteers for an hour here or there.
I'll do that.
Okay, and I can do
Just let me know,
something.
yeah, let me know.
If they offer to do it for us, then that's even better. But anyways, okay, so on to agenda item 8, which is the land conservation outreach program, which really is a project. So I talked to Mass Woods, and from the last meeting, they have agreed to give us all of the their pamphlets that we want. There's the Chapter 61 and the Protecting Your Legacy. Those are the 2 they recommended. Where it's not feasible to mail those because of the cost, it's very cost prohibitive. And but they will send to us when we do our outreach, which is a mailing, which will be a letter. It might be a 2-sided page. I don't think we do everything 1 page, but usually 2 pages, whether it's 2-sided or not. And we can tell them that they can pick them up at the town hall or the library or wherever we can stage them. And also reference the Mass Woods website that has them in PDF format there. They can actually look at them online. They can download them. Or if they want a hard copy, we'll have some that they'll give to us, no charge, from Mass Woods. And once we get the number of mailings, I know we've talked about 250, definitely talked to Tracy about expenses covering direct mailing of $250. I mean, that's a rough number. It can go up or down from there a little bit. And they, Time said that they would be able to cover the expense of a direct mailing. I think it's like 73 cents per stamp right now. And but of course, is the paper, the envelopes, the labels, you know, for return and address labels. And then of course, Tracy did say that we could print them at the town hall, and we could print them in color. And she recommended using the town logo letterhead paper, which make it official. And she gave me one here, but yeah. So just this paper here.
So we're just mailing the cover letter, and we're not gonna mail the whole package?
Right.
Okay.
And we're going
That's
to give
okay.
them how they can get it online
Yep.
and where they can pick up a
Okay.
hard copy locally.
Okay.
So I mean, it's covered, because it was about $3 to ship one,
Right.
and
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
if it
Yeah,
can go
that's
under a
crazy.
roller,
Yeah.
which is questionable. And if
Yeah.
you're going to ship them two,
Yeah.
the prices go up exponentially. But you do have.
So is this letter, so we were gonna have an outreach where people came in to speak with people? Will this letter
Well, no,
also have a
this-
date of when that meeting is, or?
Oh, this is
Oh,
evolving.
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's a good question, because that's
So-
part of the conversations I had. So when I talked to Mass Woods, that was kind of the format we saw in the outreach program online. That's what you do. You have an in-person meeting, somebody comes in, gives a presentation, and you have refreshments and all. They don't do that anymore. And so they found it to be not cost-effective, and so Mass Woods gave me contact information for Wildlands Trust and the DCR Forest Ranger. So I've contacted both of them, but I've only had conversations so far with Wildlands Trust. And what he told me is that they would be willing to put on a half-hour webinar presentation. So we would reference that in our cover letter. And I would think with those webinars, usually you have to register, so there would be a website you go to register for it, and they give us that information. And I don't have all the information, but they would run that. So we would have information to cover letter about the pamphlets from Mass Woods, the webinar from Wildlands Trust, and I would still want to see if the DCR Forester wants to get involved. He said he did, but we haven't actually talked yet.
So the webinar that I attended, they sent us, a link to that webinar,
Yep,
So-
the Mass Woods webinars,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so, and that was very informative for the DCR.
Yeah, no, it was.
So we couldn't use that to have a meeting? To present it ourselves?
I mean, that's not
If they
ours,
have
not
questions
our-
come up,
not our-
I don't
not
know
our
if we can answer
property,
them,
and yeah,
but-
we need somebody who owns that information to present it. Now, Wildlands Trust said they would, present and give, and DCR Forester may do the same. Now, Wildlands Trust said if the DCR Forester does, it should be two separate webinars, and we can have two separate dates and registrations, and people can sign up for them. But, so there would be no in-person meeting, but they'll have access to the Mass Woods pamphlets, which is a lot of the information that's covered in the webinars. And we could actually put references to those webinars, because I think they're still available on their website too.
Yes, they are, that's what I was saying, so.
Yeah, so we could reference the webinars and the pamphlets, which are PDFs, on Mass Woods, the Wildlands Trust, and DCR. So still trying to pull all the information together. I did want to ask, did anybody want to volunteer to be the composer of the letter? It's going to take all this information and put it into hopefully 2 pages, and referencing all these things we're talking about. And I do want to say that Wildlands Trust said they're going to send me a copy of another town's outreach letter, so we can use for reference to
okay.
capture that. So we'll have that as a base, and then we can add the things that, specific to what we're doing here in Lakeville to that. So it shouldn't be that hard, other than there's probably some cutting and pasting of things. And I don't think you can put active links in the letter. You're just going to put, because it's not going out electronically, it's going out on paper.
They wouldn't be active, no. I mean, I don't mind doing it, I get this project done. So how many more months will it be? No?
Well, I think,
What's the deadline?
well,
So-
I think if I'm gonna try and, get all the information over the next month.
Yeah, that's the thing, I don't, yeah.
Because I
You know all the information, David, so,
yeah,
but I'll do
I
it.
I can do the letter, but
No,
I don't
no,
wanna
yeah.
hog everything.
I feel
here.
bad you do all the work, so, you
And
know.
I appreciate the help, so.
Yeah.
And I don't mind chasing around the information in, and it shouldn't be that hard to do.
No, I think you'll do the letter,
But it's a matter of getting all the right information.
right.
And I gotta have a few more conversations. And things have taken a while. It's been a month just get to this point of the, I think I had the Masswoods dialogue previous month, and then there was Wildlands Trust over the past month, and I started to try to set up something with the DCR Forester, but I haven't been successful yet. I kind of put that off a little bit because I didn't know where this was going, We weren't gonna have, the town didn't have the funds to go to a town warrant, and we originally talked about a $2,000 project to run, and so that wasn't gonna work, so, and I was even worried about the expense money, but,
Yeah.
it sounds like that'll be on next year's budget, we do it in the fall. What they recommended was late fall to run it, so,
Okay.
so there's your
So the-
time frame.
So the letter has to be done.
Yeah, so, and the letter is supposed to go out like 2 to 3 weeks before, say, the webinars.
Okay,
So that's the timing, so if it's, and you wanna get before the holidays, so you're talking like late October, early November to run the webinars. That means the letter should be going out like early October. So we have to have everything lined up. We've got, June, July, August, September, 4 months, and it's gonna take at least one more month for me. I will really push to get all the information so the letter can be drafted maybe for our next meeting. But it's
Okay.
probably gonna take another month. But we got, like 4 months to get the letter together.
okay.
I don't know.
That's quick.
No,
It's really quick.
well, to pull
No, I'm
everything
teasing.
together from, all these different sources, and if
If they have that sample letter, that's.
Oh, yeah. And-
When do you think you're going to get that? You
well,
don't know?
I thought I was gonna get it this week, and
Oh.
I didn't get it this week, so, but, hopefully, and he's gonna email it to me, so it's not gonna be in the mail, so I could get it any day now. He thought he had it, but he didn't, so he had to go back to the town that's gonna provide it. And, but hopefully within a week I'll have that. They'll give you a base.
Okay,
And, and then format it, printing on this paper. I don't know if you have any, but just for reference, so we
Yeah,
format
okay.
how things fit. And the thing is, if we do two-sided, and we can do color, so if we wanted to
Okay.
put say we wanted to put a snapshot of the 2 Masswoods pamphlets, put a smaller one, but there's the 2, and here's the website where you can go to and see these.
okay.
And anything with the webinar. So, if we can add some pictures, it makes it more interesting. The letterhead, and it makes it look more official, so people don't throw it out, they'll take a look at it.
Okay,
And I think the envelopes would have the logo up on it too, so, because that's
and
part
we
of
can
the
use their
expenses.
envelopes too.
Yeah.
We'll just be stuffing them, right? So,
Well, once we get the letter that we want, go to town hall, print them at the town hall, then yeah, then we got, however, whether it's 250 or 300 or whatever the number is, that's when we're trying to get to that with the mailing list on this
Okay.
item as well. But, so, Lynn, thank you for volunteering for that, and I'll feed you the information as quickly as I can.
Okay,
So that would be the main thing with the mailing, so we've got expense coverage, we've got content going into it, leading the webinars, and a lot of things online. And it is a lot easier, and it's the other things are not cost effective to do with the in-person meetings. Let's see, cover letter, the mailing list, the mailing list is, I saved the best for last, the mailing list. Is there anything else before we dig into the mailing list? Oh, boy. Oh, I do want to say, I think it was Liz did she talk to you at all?
Oh,
Liz?
no.
Let me make the mailing list. She had emailed me, she didn't make the last meeting, so she wasn't there, and she thought it was a general statement that some of the ones that we eliminated from the first 2 pages should not be eliminated, maybe that we should give them a chance. If, let them decide whether they're interested or not. But I think though, this is not here to discuss it, but I thought when we went through, and I know you know a lot of the
I
people.
know a lot of the
talk-
people, and I know that they're
And
gonna be
you were pretty
interested.
confident, so.
Right,
We have to get the list down. 250 is kind of the target. I think, I definitely would not go over 300 in this mailing list, it's.
I mean, something like this, like, I mean, these, they're like, they're 3 of them,
Mhm.
but they missed the cut. So they have 3 different numbers here, they're like 20, 89, and 173, and there's a couple of other ones. So we have, whatever number we have, this is actually 3 of the numbers.
Okay,
So, I mean, there were other ones that are like that, but just take a peek.
okay. All right, I'll go through
Do you want
this.
it, I mean, I brought that so you can just take it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Instead of doing it one by one, like,
Right,
if you have any
yeah.
questions, just email me.
Right, and, but, so, now we had gone through the first 2 pages, and this printout is from that, or this is before we deleted?
This is the last one you sent, as the couple of days ago.
Okay, so that already had, I already took out the ones.
You already
that
took out the ones we were
agreed
gonna
to
take out.
Last meeting, so those are already gone.
And I went through a lot of these ones that are businesses,
Yep,
and looked them up online to see what they were.
Yeah.
The ones in Kenneth Welch and Millennium,
yep.
so,
Okay, so and you're saying that.
that's
should
a
definitely go out.
Talbot's building, so we're gonna
Yeah.
be sending it to them.
Okay, and we don't wanna waste sending.
I mean, some of them
sending-
are developers, some of them are, like, the condos at,
Yeah, Well-
Island Terrace is on that list.
yeah, okay, so you mark that here.
I marked those there.
Yeah, we did agree to send to a couple of the big developers here that,
yeah.
they're probably gonna say no, but there's only a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them. We know are big
exactly.
developers, they're probably gonna throw in the trash.
Right,
But those are the ones we were given the opportunity. But a lot of these other ones, like I said, they got businesses.
I mean, some of the
and-
developers that were there, they're not gonna be interested at all.
Right.
Some of the ones that we
Right.
know.
Well, I think, you have a lot of knowledge on the properties and the owners in this town, and I think that's good information for us to get this number down. And Liz is not here to, so
If you have any
I,
questions about any of those, just email it to me. And tell you why I marked it the way I did, because I kept my own copy too,
yeah, I'll do that, so, all right, so this is.
rather than go through them one at a time.
No, yeah, I don't wanna do that and tie everybody up on that, so you went through all this and you found some, I know when you get down in here, we didn't know a lot about, some of these when you get way out here, so, all right. I think, we do that, I will definitely, does everyone wanna take a look at this list, or everybody, trust Joan's judgment, she knows these
Joan's
properties and all?
judgment, she knows.
I believe that is true, so, and we need to get the number down. I'd like to get closer to 250 number myself. That's what we got verbal approval on mailing. Doesn't mean we couldn't get 300, but we don't want to be wasteful on it. The other thing that Wildlands Trust mentioned to me is that we're going, we got 5 acres or more. He said, if there's a house on it, it's really 6 acres or more.
Right,
So, unless it's vacant land in the 5 to 6, we do have a vacant land list, I can
Right.
cross-reference that. I think anything under 6 should be removed from the mailing list unless it's vacant land. And I
Yes.
can do that cross-reference, do that. Make a note of that.
if you take the things out of the list, send it back to me with things, these things removed, I'll see if I missed anything.
You want to take another run at it?
We'll get it down.
Yeah, I don't know did you look at what the number is with these deletions? We were at, let's see, I forget what the difference is. We had 315, I had count of 377, but, the mailing, that was the mailing number. So we're at 315 for the number of mailings, not taking into account your marked deletions. Do you know how many you got here? You got quite a few.
Got a few.
You got a lot. So, I think we might be closer to 250 with these deletions, but I also, if we do that, between 5 and 6, if it's
Only,
if it's under 6 and it has a house on it,
Then
yeah,
no.
take it off.
Yeah.
and even while, so most people do the 10 acres and up for their mailings.
I think
So-
that's
They said,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down to 6, say,
Mm.
and if there's vacant land in the 5 to 6, we can add them in. I think we'll come up close to 250, so. For next meeting, between these deletions and when I look at that 5 to 6 area, we should have a pared down list, and I'll send it out to everybody for a final review that we'll have for
Yeah.
our next meeting, and hopefully that will be the final list. Any last touch-ups, or it could be it. And I know Liz was talking about putting some more back, but we have to, you know, if there's a low chance of them doing anything.
I mean, the ones that I crossed out, there were
Yeah.
people, I know there's no chance.
Yeah, so,
That's why I kicked them out.
right, so.
That's a better way of putting
No,
it.
Kick them out.
I agree.
Kick them
So,
off the list.
Everybody in agreement with this discussion? We'll go
Absolutely.
ahead with that. Okay, so I get this, and then 5 to 6, and we'll get a new list out for next meeting. Okay, very good. That's, I think we're just about down to the minutes, and it does take a long time to get through this, but, all right, anything else on the outreach program? No. Okay, all right, and move on to agenda item 9, which is a new business, and discuss any correspondence and announcements. And I do want to say that thank you, everybody, for the inputs for the 2024 annual report, which we did get complete this month and submitted to Tracy a couple weeks ago. So that is done for the year, and you know, just documenting what we worked on for the past year, and that's done. The only other item was the email, which I did forward to everybody from the town administrator regarding the transit-oriented development for the Lakeville MBTA station. Just to summarize what he's saying here, the email went out on Tuesday, May 27th. The MBTA plans to develop the Lakeville MBTA station into a transit-oriented development.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
It says, but no specific details have been finalized, so that's what that means, or shared. Other than that, about 200 spots will remain for the Cape Flyer, or those parking spots, I take it.
I would imagine that's what it is,
Yeah.
but.
And they have committed to working with the town for the best possible use of the area. And this is not really an open space area, it's a developed area, but, so what Andrew was saying, he says his hope is that it would be a joint planning board and select board meeting, but he said, I would also like to invite other land use boards and committees to send their chairman or voted representative to actively participate. And of course, other members are still able to attend, you know, it's open to everybody to attend. So, if we have any input on this at all, we're reminded, this is really planning board, select board, and the MBTA. But we should have a representative, and the first meeting is June 23rd at 6 p.m. It doesn't say where it is, probably the police station, I'm guessing. But it's June 23rd at 6 p.m. First meeting, and that first meeting would be to gather feedback from the community for what they would like to see in the area and any identified issues from the town's perspective. So, you know, I'm not even all that familiar with it. I just picture it's a bunch of parking spaces and...
It's a pretty big parking lot, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna have a lot of input, but does anybody want to take on being open space representative for this? I don't think it's gonna take too much other than going to maybe a few meetings. And then
When is that meeting?
a
June
Monday.
23rd, you know what day that is?
It's a Monday,
It's a Monday?
yeah.
You can put me down for it.
Okay, thanks, Bill. And so 6 p.m., and they'll post it, it doesn't say it's at the police station, but most likely 6 p.m. at the police station, June 23rd.
27?
23rd.
23rd.
And like I said, I don't expect much, but yeah, I might drive by and take a look at it, because I've never really even looked at it.
7 o'clock, is that what you said?
Oh, 6 o'clock.
Six.
Sorry. It's right in the email that they sent.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah, and they'll be posting it,
Okay.
you know, maybe, you know, a week before they should post it. Yeah,
So is that the area where there's already parking for the trains, or is this a
That's
different
what-
area?
That's what I believe, yeah. So they're repurposing it, because that got moved to Middleborough.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna still stop there, I think, but just not as much.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard, but I may be wrong.
So that flyer they talked about, what is that?
Oh, the train that goes from South Station
It
to
goes to
Hyannis in the
Hyannis.
summer.
Oh, okay.
but only in the summer.
So they're keeping about 200 spots remaining for the Cape Flyer.
Oh, okay.
Does that come all the way down from Boston?
It comes from South Station.
Okay, South Station, and it stops here in Lakeville. About 200 spots will be kept for that. Is that like a
I
small
don't know why they'd
fraction
ever
of this
keep
area?
200 spaces for people going from Lakeville to Hyannis
Well,
on the
yeah.
weekend, only on the weekend,
Yeah, exactly.
really.
Well, that's
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, well, that's probably their first thought. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just in concept stage here. So anyways, they want to know what to do with the rest of the area. I don't know, is that like,
One thing that to consider is the T has talked about in the past running trains to Hyannis on an hourly basis, you know? And, I mean, I've been to some of the meetings where it was discussed over the years. And so that's still an option. The problem is getting trains over the canal, over the railroad bridge.
yeah, I don't know.
Because it's not used that much, or why is that a problem?
The train comes
Well,
back,
I
that's
mean,
the train that comes
You
down.
have to,
Lower
it
bridge.
lifts up in
Lower
the air.
bridge, yeah.
There you go.
And a train can stop, but a ship can't stop very
Right,
fast.
right, yeah. Yep.
So there was some talk about having the train go over the newborn bridge. You know,
Put tracks on it,
yeah.
yeah.
But again, that
It's way
would
down the
be,
line.
yeah, that's,
That's
It's a
there.
long ways away.
well, and it's not open space. That would be the planning
Right.
board, select board involvement with that. You could look at anything from an open space standpoint, that I guess it could save some open space if they put the train over there. But anyways, keep that in mind if there's different options with the trains when you're in meetings, Bob. But basically see where they're headed, and if anything that directly affects the open space of Lakeville and what they're going to build there in
Okay.
that spot. Do you know how big it is? How many acres?
It's-
Or
I'm gonna guess an acre.
1 acre? Okay, so
It's
even
not
that-
huge,
not even
but
that
it's, for a parking lot, it's a good
big.
size.
Yeah,
It's a big lot.
Okay.
It's a two-level lot,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, Bob, thank you for volunteering to be the representative. Oh, I guess we have to vote, actually. Somebody make a motion to have Bob represent the Open Space Committee at the Transit-Oriented Development meetings.
My motion?
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye,
You're in?
you're it.
There you go.
Thank you, Bob. All right. Any other discussion on that? And if any questions come up, Andrew would be a good contact. If you have any questions. Let's see, any new agenda items for the next meeting? I think we got enough going on to follow up with, and it's the summer. So. But, if anybody has anything they want to add to the agenda, let me know. I think that's a no. I don't have any other business.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does anybody on this board have anything they want to change in the open space plan? Or does anybody have any comments? Or does it
I thought we already did that.
No,
We did.
okay.
Yeah,
Did-
but
No,
anyway,
but we're at the end, but you got it last month,
Oh, another.
so everybody had a chance to read it now. So if you want to change anything, now would be the time to say.
Well, yeah, I think before it went out to everybody else,
Yeah,
I thought we
yeah,
did that. We
I
all
did too.
reviewed it, and I remember reading 200 and something pages, and
It's now or
and
never.
and I
Yeah.
did give you some inputs, which
Yeah.
you addressed, and anybody else
Because-
did. But
because
yeah, so
everybody-
we went through that, and I don't want to go through it again.
I don't either.
I think
I
Thank
don't
you,
either.
Joan.
it looks in good shape, and we even touched up some of the goals, which had gotten outdated. You did that. So no, I think we're good if it's everybody else is good with it. Well, that will lock us up for another 7 years, and
And then Serpent will do this for us.
yeah, because that's what everybody else has learned. Yeah, that's the way to go. Volunteers write a
Yeah.
270-page document with all kinds of maps and things that you have to get from Serpent anyways. Okay, and agenda item 10 is the next meeting. Now, the first Thursday in July is July 3rd, the day before the holiday. So I'm feeling that nobody's going to want to attend a meeting that day. Is that a valid point, or does everybody like July 3rd? I might be around, but
I know the next week I'm on vacation.
I did ask what options would be. We can keep it July 3rd, and I can make it. I'm not
Yeah, I shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah?
July
The
3rd.
3rd is good?
I think
Third is
so.
good? Brian?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we'll keep it the 3rd, because I asked Laurie earlier if we were gonna have a lot of people missing, we weren't gonna get a quorum. She gave me some optional dates in July, but, there wasn't much, there's only like 2 other days we could do. So, but we'll stick with the 3rd. So, next meeting will be, July 3rd. That's it. Anything else, or are we good?
We're good.
Okay, have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All right, all right.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.